All right, ladies and gentlemen, book 3, chapter 10. This was a huge chapter. It was also confusing. So I'm going to go over it to the best of my ability. There are also some really great videos out there online, like on Course Hero, etc., that explain it nicely. So basically, the letter is one that they found in Dr. Manette's cell a long time ago. And it tells the story of a really horrible night for Dr. Manette that also had huge implications for a bunch of people that we know. So first of all, E means Evermond, and there are twins. There were twin brothers. Doubles motif, everybody. So chapter 10 is a great place for you to add to that doubles motif. So what we find is Dr. Manette is called to be a doctor for this patient. It's a young woman. She's tied to a bed, and the handkerchief has that embroidery of the E for the Evermond family on it. What has happened to her? Well, she keeps saying, my brother, my husband, my father, my brother. She counts to 12, and then she says, hush. That's on page 331. It's very scary and jarring and awful. And this is a story of entitlement of the upper class during the time. This is a story of why the lower class is over it, and my heads are rolling. So here's what happened. The young woman was very beautiful, and one of the twin brothers desired her. She was married, however, to a somewhat sickly man, and so the brothers wore him to the bone. They drove him. They had him drive a cart, aka pull a cart day in, day out, sleep outside in the cold, and he dies at her side from all of this that they do to him. One of the brothers takes advantage of the woman. He rapes her. It's very awful. And then because of this horrible event, her being assaulted and then her husband dying, her father dies. And then her little brother, kid brother, tries to defend her, on her, and he is mortally wounded by one of the Evermond brothers. And he is the second patient that Dr. Manette comes across that night. The woman dies at the end of the evening. And what's interesting is that the brothers feel relieved. They're happy because, well, all incriminating persons are dead, right? The little brother dies. The sister is dead now. So they're good. And they think Dr. Manette's on the same page with them. He is not. And he tells them that he is going to report them. Well, he puts together this whole testimony of what happened. And as he is on his way, he is captured by the Evermond brothers. And he is imprisoned, and that is why he was in prison for 18 years. While this is all going on, we meet one of the brothers' wife, the one who took advantage of the young woman, and she has with her a child. That child is Charles Darnay, and she says to her son, you will make sure you give whatever you get from your family to the sister of this young woman. So we never meet the little sister in this chapter, but we know that Charles has been asked to renounce his inheritance because of this horrible family history. Dr. Manette, like I said, is imprisoned, and while he's in prison, he writes a letter explaining this whole situation. And if you remember earlier in the book, Charles Darnay talked about this story of people going up to the cell, finding a letter, and that caused Dr. Manette a lot of discomfort and stress. That's this letter, okay? Now we go to present day. We're in the courtroom. They've read the letter, and it incriminates Darnay according to the tribunal, and he is immediately sentenced to death, to the guillotine. And it's because he's an Evermond. It's because of his past. And then at the end, Madame Defarge cruelly says, save him, my doctor, now. Save him, on page 342. So she is gleeful that Charles Darnay is getting what she believes he deserves.